Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Midday Live. We're here every Monday to literally review the Premier League weekend. And what a weekend of football we had, especially yesterday night. And of course, Saturday as well, to kick us off as well. But we'll get into all of that. Midday Live, League Gunner, 3-point collectors. You know what I mean? I'm going to shamelessly plug that even though we're shit. But yeah, League Gunner, how are you, mate? Everything all
I'm
good?
very well, man. I'm very well. I did tell everyone about Trossard being Arsenal's best player. It's nice to see everyone's waking up, obviously, months later. I've decided to bring my popcorn again today for the Tottenham cooking, the Man United cooking. We're going to be sitting there eating the popcorn. And I'm looking forward to it. Smash the likes up, people. Come on. Big up the panel as well, always.
Absolutely, man. Big up to Lucas here, always here supporting the channel. Cracking panel, lads. Salute, lads. Big up from Australia, Lucas, West Ham fan. LB, man. You know what I mean? It's
Yo,
it's not crazy, but you're waking up to a few kind of, it's a different life today. It ain't easy today, is it?
it's not easy being top of the league, Saeed, bro. Being top of the group in the Champions League, being treble holders. So actually really difficult, man. It's so hard. But yeah, big up the Midday Live crew. Lock in the like, subscribe to the channel, man. And I'm buzzing for the show, man.
Absolutely, man. We got man like Gooley here today. Gooley, big up, bro, man. I appreciate you coming on as always, man. What are you saying?
Hey, bruv, listen, I just regret that I wasn't able to make last week's show. So, Sava, you can hold that. When though we passed it, you can hold that. LB, you was on my channel talking about how you was going to slap us about,
is desperate.
You were talking about how you was going to slap us about, mate. What happened at the bridge yesterday, mate? Yeah.
Bro, let me tell you something. Yeah, your standards are in the mud, bro. These Chelsea fans, you're acting like you got the 3 points. You do realize it was a draw, don't you?
No. Listen.
Well, the shamelessness from these Chelsea fans, yeah. It's like, did they get an extra point or something?
One thing that I'm not going to do is over celebrate a draw. But in my defense, we have been in the shadow realm for nearly 2 years, bro. So even a draw like this felt a little bit like a win, just a little bit. But I still remember where my standards are. This is only because you came on my channel talking about, we're going to slap you 4-1, 3-1. Yeah, it's going to be easy work. Do you know what I mean? What happened?
But now we'll get into it. We'll bring in Sava as well. Sava, listen, man, it's all crumbling down, man. It's all crumbling down. It's Tottenham are back, basically. What do you say, Sava? You good?
Yeah, man. Listen, yeah, people want to talk about cooking. I mean, you won't be cooking me. I was one of the Spurs fans not saying everything's great. I think it's a massive fallacy that we're playing this great football and we're back and we're going to win. I think there's a long road, man, a long road. But what I'm going to say is this guy here. I mean, I know they've been crap this year, but this is unbelievable. This is like when the ugliest girl in the group of girls finally pulls at a nightclub and then starts messaging her mates going, yeah, girls, I pulled. Calm down, man. Calm down. Calm down. You were good yesterday.
Hey, I'm allowed. Hey, listen, of all Chelsea fans, I'm allowed a bit of shamelessness. I always keep it 100% when it comes to my team. But today, I couldn't resist it. Now we're back to life and back to reality. It's gone now.
Yeah.
No, listen, you're allowed to. You're allowed to.
Let's start with you, LB. You know what I mean? What are you saying, man? Yesterday, what a game, by the way. First of all, I want to say one of the best games I've seen in a long while. Cracker, Barclays football. That was Barclays Premier League. None of this kind of new school and all that. This is Barclays football, mate. 4-4. What are you saying, LB, man? How are you feeling this morning and just in general, the game yesterday?
Yeah, man. Game of the season. It was a mega game. Yeah, listen, it was a bit of a madness. That was probably our worst defensive performance in 3 years, maybe. I think people talking about the Leicester game before we got Ruben Diaz a few years ago, back in 2020, that was shocking. Even Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, where we conceded a couple of goals in the last few minutes, that was shocking. But yesterday, I mean, the amount of individual errors on show from our defense was just absolutely diabolical. I mean, I think it was only Akanji for me that can come off the pitch with his head held high in that defense. You got Vardy has been so good this year, makes just a dumb mistake, mate. Diaz was absolutely shocking. Now, to be fair to the guy, turns out that like the day before the game or whatever, his wife or his girlfriend was carjacked, so maybe that has something to do with it. Who knows? Walker got absolutely given the run around by Sterling, I thought was fantastic and really good. Rodri was left isolated in midfield. Bernardo was getting around, not really giving him much help. Kovacic came on. I thought he was going to sit next to Rodri and see the game out. He started going into attacking midfield position. So everything normally that you associate with a Pep Guardiola side, which is composure, calmness on the ball, really in the opposition to very little in the middle of the pack, was completely evaporated from our game. And yeah, in the end, I got to say, which is a bit of a weird take considering we was winning in the 92nd minute, I can't be that disheartened with the point because Chelsea, that was probably one of the best Chelsea performances I've seen in the last 2 years. And from a City point of view, it was probably one of the worst defensive displays I've seen in the last 2 to 3 years. So to get away with a point, even though we win in the 92nd minute, I'm not moaning. We're top of the league by a point. And it is what it is. Disappointing. Because it's weird, right? Because I'm disappointed that we didn't win, yeah, because obviously we should have won based on the fact we was winning the 92nd minute. But Goonie will tell you that Chelsea should have won, and he'll be disappointed that they didn't win. So in the end, the stats were very equal. I think a point in the end is probably a fair reflection. But yeah, just a bit of a weird one, bro. But just very, very not Man City like. Very not Man City.
Facts. You know what's mad as well? Chelsea have not scored a goal against Man City, I think, since the Champions League final. So to get 4 was crazy. Like, that's crazy stat, by the way, not to score a goal since the Champions League final, which was what, 3 years ago? 3-4 years ago? I mean, Goonie, man, are you proud of your team? I know people say where's the standards gone, but Chelsea were unbelievable yesterday. I gotta give it to them. They had a plan, they had hunger, they had desire, they played for the badge, and you know what? Proper Chelsea, man. Yesterday, man. Proper Chelsea, man.
Proper Chelsea. Well, this is what I'll say is the thing that did impress me in the game was the resilience. It's because I've seen Chelsea over the years crumble, go down, and we look like we're not going to score for another flipping 48 hours. But yesterday, we seem to have the resilience to pull it back against Man City. Now, this is what I said before the game, because a lot of Chelsea fans were getting overly excited about beating a 9-man Spurs at White Hart Lane. I said, that's not a barometer of anything to tell me that our team is improved or taking a step in the right direction. Manchester City will be. So for them to pull out the performance that they did yesterday, it was good. However, we are still 10th. We need to still be looking at us against the lesser teams because it's the smaller teams that we struggle against more than the top teams. We didn't lose against Arsenal. Now we haven't lost against Manchester City. Who else? We didn't lose against Liverpool. So this is what I was saying before. My concern isn't necessarily about the top teams because they play a style of football that allows us to play as well. As you saw yesterday, it was a very open-ended game. Both teams were able to, Chelsea were able to hit Man City on a counter-attack, Man City with their high line, but it's when you're facing those other teams that don't play like that is where Chelsea struggle. So definitely, listen, in terms of the result yesterday, all things considered, in terms of context, yes, I'm happy. I'm happy with that result. I'm happy with that performance because let's have it right. Any Chelsea fan would have bitten each other's hand off for even a point against Manchester City if we're having honest conversations. So, yeah, man, I can't complain too much. Honestly, I really can't complain.
Yeah, big up to C-Lac says, breaking news, Reece James just released Doku from jail. He's returned to Manchester, but has to return for court in a few months. You know what's mad, yeah? I do think Reece James locked him up, but then Doku had a couple opportunities where he could have done better.
He didn't lock him up.
I don't see it at all. I thought in the first half, Doku gave him the runner. I thought Doku and Foden in that first half.
Yeah.
I thought every time they got the ball, they went out wide City. Foden was superb, by the way. Foden was absolutely superb. Doku's one of those. Doku tries things. Like, this is what I don't think people understand about wingers like Doku. We're so used to seeing these safe wingers now that just cut inside and play a 5-yard ball and everyone goes, oh, his ball retention's brilliant. Doku tries stuff. Yeah? And when you've got a winger that's trying skills, trying tricks, you're not going to beat your man every time. That's just not how it works. I thought that Reece James struggled against him in the first half. I thought he was really, really good first half. Second half decision-making wasn't great, but I don't know. We're at this stage now where everyone thinks, oh, Doku didn't score or assist. He must have been terrible. I thought he was good. I thought he worried Chelsea in that first half, especially for me.
I totally agree, mate. I totally agree with that, by the way. Reece James done all right.
Yeah, he done all right.
He weren't great. He weren't poor. But Doku was all right, man. He weren't great. He weren't poor. But you're right, Sava. It's all about assist stats now, isn't it? Yeah, like,
of course it is. Yeah.
It's all about assists. Like, you can play crap all game, get one pass that leads to a goal, and all of a sudden you've had a 7 and 8 out of 10. Yeah,
Lee,
like,
I'm seeing it, right? I'm seeing it all over social about two players, Doku and Vardiel. Like, like somebody come onto my show last night and they were like, "Oh, Man City, you can get them. Man City aren't as good defensively as they used to be." Now, people say stuff but don't look it up. And I looked in Man City's last 21 games of football. Do you know how many times they've conceded more than one?
Yeah,
before yesterday.
3 or 4?
Once. Before yesterday was once. LB, do you know who it was that got more than one goal against you? Before yesterday?
Spurs.
Wolves.
This is Wolves.
Before that, it was January when Spurs got 2 goals at Man City. And people go, "Oh, they're not very good at the back." It was an off day. Like, it happens. But now all of a sudden, Vardiol's rubbish. All of a sudden, Jeremy Doku is, oh my God, he's not that. Like, football fans are so reactionary to one game. It is unbelievable.
Mate, last week they were saying Doku's the best, better than Saka. He's got four assists and a goal in a game. Like, I'm getting people coming in my chat, who's better, Doku or Saka, Lee? Like, and it weren't just like 1 or 2 people. It was like 10, 20 people a stream. Who's better? And it's like, for one game. Do me a favour. Come on.
But Sava, do you understand, though, why then I would be... I'm not saying I'm happy with the point. It's weird, but do you see why I'm like sort of content with a point? Because City was defensively shocking yesterday, and Chelsea were decent. So even though we were winning in the 92nd minute, obviously I'm disappointed when you get the win. Do you see why I'm kind of like, in the end, I'm just going to take the point and get out of there because it keeps us top of the table, and hopefully, like you said, that's just a one-off. So I've seen people saying, "How can you be happy with the point?" I'm not happy with the point. People are like not understanding what I'm trying to say. Considering circumstances, man. We were shocking and we got away with Chelsea with a point. And Chelsea, as Goonie said,
what do you think was wrong? What do you think was wrong? Does it isolate incidents?
I think there's a number of things. I think before the game, we was all City fans were buzzing with the team basically before the game because like it was such an attacking team. But that's why Pep Guardiola doesn't play that attacking team in the midfield, because our midfield was isolated. Rodri was in that midfield on his own, and what was happening? You had Gallagher in there, Sterling was coming in there, Palmer was coming in there, and basically it was on there on his own. And then it's just individual mistakes side. Diaz had a shocker, you know what I mean? The Guardiola made a mistake. Diaz made at least a couple of mistakes. Walker switched off at the back post a number of times. Ederson palmed the ball straight down the middle. If he palms that left or right, there's no goal. Unfortunately, it was just a day where for some reason, including the goalkeeper, 4 out of our 5 defenders all made mistakes for goals. The fact that we got out there with a point is remarkable, to be honest with you. So, look, it is what it is.
You know what?
Move.
You know what? I've got to give Chelsea their credit. I thought Gallagher was amazing. I thought Sterling as well. You know what I mean? He stepped up as well. I thought Chelsea, the way they pressed Man City for the 90, I think for 90 minutes, like Goonie, like you man were just harassing Man City every opportunity. And I think in the big games this season, Chelsea have turned up in terms of Arsenal. I know they bottled it in the end and whatnot, but like in terms of like your commitment and your effort, I think Chelsea have had a plan with Pochettino. I think it's good signs, for Chelsea. If you're a Chelsea fan now, you look at the big games, Chelsea have actually competed in the games. Look at us in the derby. We gave City all the possession and we just basically said, you know what, come and beat us. Chelsea were like, nah, we're coming here, we're going to fight Man City. And they went 2 for nail with them, man. So if I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm looking a bit more promising about the manager as well.
No, I mean, again, it's like I said, it's a step in the right direction. But if the Premier League was about playing the top 4 or 5 teams, then we'd be all right. Yeah. But unfortunately, it's not the case. We still got another, 16, 17 teams that we've got to play. And each team plays different style of football. And I've said it many times, man. I use a very boxing/UFC type of expression here. Styles make fights. Do you know what I mean? I want to see us. And now that this, I don't know, some people are calling it a test. I say it is as well. But now that we've got this draw against Man City, I need to see some more consistency now going into Christmas, going into the new year. I need to see us moving up the table. As of now, I can't be too happy. I can't be too excited until my league table position improves, bro. That's where my standards are. I need to see us be doing better. But nah, in terms of yesterday, man, the press high up the field was brilliant. Conor Gallagher, one thing about him that I like is he initiates the press very well. Very, very well. He's the one that starts it. And quite often you see him, man. He's just a bag of energy, bro. Doesn't stop pressing. He's like a dog. Do you know what I mean? He just keeps on going. So fair play to Conor Gallagher, man. I was one of those people that said Conor Gallagher needs to go ASAP. He's been very useful for us this season. Would I keep him at the end of the season? Remains to be seen. That's still a question that's up in the air for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What are you saying, League Gunner, man, in terms of like Chelsea and, you know what I mean? Because obviously they're going to get a bit gassed. You know what I mean? Are they getting too gassed, or are you going to try and...
fan base are in the mud, bro. Like, this is a fan base, right, that had it all in their hands when Roman was there. Yeah, it was all in our hand. They literally had it all. And now their standards have gone from 100 to like 0 real quick. Like, I know Goonie's only doing the shameless one because he's been in the mud for over a year, but and I get that, yeah. But some of your fans, man, like, honestly, like, cheering a draw, like a draw, like, listen, and the way they're gassing up this Cole Palmer, by the way, oh my days, I've got Henry Wright putting out TikToks here, right, saying he's better than Saka.
I saw it.
And I said, what's he better at Saka? Like, what's he better at Saka? Okay, cool. He can score penalties, and Saka missed a few. Whoopee. Like, well done. Listen, he's a good player, but it's way too small a sample size to start giving it he's bigger and better than Saka. Yes, maybe technically he's more gifted than Saka. I'll give him that. Yeah, but Saka is a consistent every single week and has done it consistently pretty much every single week for 3 years. Yeah, this guy's played 40-odd games in his entire career. Saka plays more than that a year.
Guns, I remember a time where, like, you had to have 2 or 3 world-class seasons before you could be called world-class. Now he's a
very good player, a very good player. And listen, the way he's gone into Chelsea surprised me because I don't think he was that good. Yeah, like, we didn't see a lot of him at City. He was coming off the bench here and there, scored a cracking goal against us in the Community Shield. But it's like they paid 40 million quid for him, and he played 40 games. And it's like, I'm looking at that.
But Lee,
wow,
Lee, what happened? What happened to the days?
There, slow down, man.
What happened to the days when young players came into a team and no one really judged them early? Like what happened to those days of, oh, this is a young player, don't worry about him.
Price tag. Social media, mate. That's what's happening.
You can talk about price tag, but we all know that. Like, we're all adults. We can put that aside, right? It's literally, I mean, I don't get me wrong. I saw that video yesterday about him being better than Saka. Listen, could he be better than Saka? Who knows? But let's be fair. Why can't people just say, do you know what? That Cole Palmer looks promising. That's a good young player. But instead, look, we've just done it. We've done it today. Doku, Vardyal, Cole Palmer. They even need to be labelled as the best thing ever or they're shit.
It's because their teams win nothing, Trevor. It's because their teams win nothing. So back in the day, yeah, Arsenal fans, United fans, Chelsea fans used to speak about trophies, yeah. Well, because the standards have fallen off at this football club and they no longer speak about trophies. Like, I started this stream by saying treble winners. You know what I mean? These teams now are not celebrating trophies. So because they can't celebrate trophies, because they can't go on social media and say, Buzzing just won another trophy, they have to rep someone else. This is why you get a lot of people repping players all the time, because that's how they can rep. This is why I get people constantly coming in my stream saying, oh, Saka's better than Foden. Saka. I don't give a fuck, mate. You know what I mean? We're out here winning trophies. The reason you're doing that is because your team's standards are in the mud. That genuinely is the reason. I think that's genuinely the reason.
Lewis, you've hit the nail on the head, mate. Absolutely spot on. And they always do these comparisons. He's better than Foden. Now Palmer's better than Saka. Saka's better than Rashford. Yeah, Saka's better than Kulusevski. This Son's better than this. It's embarrassing, man.
All these players that aren't the same anyway. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're just completely different.
I had a bit of a Twitter spat last night. Sorry to cut you, Savvy. I had a bit of a Twitter spat with some lad last night because he was banging on about this 16-year-old at Barcelona, mate. And I'm like,
no, but you know what?
Banging on about this Barcelona kid. Come back to me when he's 19 and he's done something. Yeah, because at the moment. And they were kicking off because Lewandowski was having a go at him for not passing him the ball.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And Lewandowski was going off on him. Yeah, and they're going, "Oh, he's only 16, mate. You play for Barca. It doesn't matter what your age is. Why has age got to do with anything?" And they do this all the time, not just for Barca, but for every. He's a young player. If you're playing big boy football and you're in the first team of a big football club, you get treated like a footballer in the first team of a big boy football club. Yeah, age only comes into it when they're not playing well. Yep. And then I compared Vinny Jr. and Erling Haaland. They were like, they're 6, 7 years older. Cool. Well, come back to me in 6, 7 years then. right? And let's see what this kid's doing because he'll be on the
Do you
bench.
rate him? Do you rate him? By the way, I rate him.
No,
I rate him. You know, I rate him. I don't put him into levels of
nah, man. Listen, I've
overrated.
seen
But I think he's a
Ansu
good player,
Fati
man.
be bigged up to be the next Messi. He can't even score.
Are we talking about Lassin Yamal?
Yes, yeah, man. Yeah.
Isn't he 16 years of age?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Surely, again, I'll go back to this. Surely, as a group of adults, I'm talking about not us, I'm talking about everyone. As adults, we could turn around and go, just let the boy, he's 16. Most people at 16 are at school. Like, can't we just turn around and go, all the talent in the world, let's give him a couple of years. Problem is now, like I said just now, every single player, Papa Sarr comes into Tottenham's midfield, has a brilliant first few games of the season, and it's, he could be like Yaya Toure. He could be the new. It's like, whoa. Like, where are people getting these comparisons from? Like Saka versus Foden. First of all, Saka and Foden are nothing like each other. Nothing like each other. Right. As LB said, right, Foden won't give a monkeys. He won't care about that. Foden's playing for the best team in Europe, winning trophies year in, year out. He's not going to care that people are comparing him to probably his mate Saka. We've got to get out of this habit of one player has a good game on a Super Sunday and then there's videos being released going, Cole Palmer's the best, Saka's terrible, this player's great, this player's terrible. It is absolutely madness how reactionary football fans are.
Yeah. You know what? Let me big up to Scene Access. All jokes aside, each team tactically forced the other team into mistakenly into goals. The draw is exception to the rule, but need 3 points going on. Now, 100%. I think the aim now, Chelsea, is to beat the smaller teams. Now, if they can beat Newcastle, I think they've got Brighton and I think they've got Man United. That's the next 3 or 4 games there. If they can go on a run and say, right, we've battled against these lot, now we need to beat the teams that we need to beat. That's the test now for Chelsea. If they now lose 2 out of the next 3, it's like everything else what you did over there counts for nothing, mate. It counts for nothing. Generally. And that's where the next test is for Chelsea. It's all right doing it against Chelsea and Arsenal and against Man City, but now can you do it against the guys that you're meant to beat? And that's where Chelsea fans need to go. But listen, so far, so good. And you guys are doing well, man. So I can't complain with you lot. You know what I mean? That's the main thing, innit? You know what I mean? That you guys are on track. I know you're not there in terms of the league, but in terms of where Pochettino wants to take you, you guys know where you're going in that regard. Is that fair, Goody?
It's fair to say there's still massive improvements that need to be made. Obviously, I was a little disappointed with just us switching off defensively a bit yesterday as well. I mean, Akanji's header. If you saw his positioning and where he was, it was an absolute disgrace, bruv. Do you know what I mean?
Really, you know what's mad? I said the same thing about the Thiago Silva one. What was going on, man? It's exactly the same. Thiago Silva's just stood there. He runs in front of all our players, and no one's marking him. He just heads it, and it's the same with the Akanji. Bro, I don't know what's going on with the defenders yesterday, man, for both teams, really, but they both just had a day off.
It's basic Sunday league mistakes that you learn from grassroots up. Is when you're in the box, make sure you have your man. That's about it. And I'm seeing that Thiago Silva didn't know where Akanji was. Reece James was in no man's land. And I'm just like, this is what's going to cost us going forward. We need to tighten up.
Yeah, Akanji run that way. Conor Gallagher's looking straight at him and runs the other way. It's like, where are you going? It was weird. That goal was weird. Like, nice header, but weird. Same with the Thiago one. But the mad thing about it is like, when you look at some of the mistakes in that game, like, I don't think I've ever seen Rodri get nutmegged. He got nutmegged twice in that game. Like it was just embarrassing for both teams. That game, it was a great, entertaining game for the neutral. But if I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be going mad. If I was a City fan, I'd be like, listen, you can't really go mad. You've won everything. But I'd be worried that a team like Chelsea that have been struggling, like in mid-table, have gone and whacked 4 goals past you and probably could have had more.
Is that a fair reflection, though? Is that a fair reflection? Like, I think when you look at Chelsea, I think a lot of people coming on here beginning of the season, everyone was like, "Oh my god, you know they've got to win this, they've got to do that." You know, Pochettino's struggling. I think in the last 9 games they've lost 1. If I'm not wrong, is it 9 or 8 that they've lost 1 game? And the signs are there that you can see that now he's got more of a settled 11. Goonie will tell me if I'm wrong. Give or take, I'm seeing the same kind of 11 every game at the moment. Chelsea, listen, we know they're going to struggle consistently for goals. I'm not talking about the last 2 games have been anomalies, but they're going to struggle consistently for goals. They don't have a goal scorer. But what I have seen of them, they play some good stuff at times. Thought they passed the ball nicely yesterday. They press well, and it's very similar to what I saw when Pochettino was at Tottenham. It was the beginning was very much, oh my God, what is this guy doing? Everyone's out of position. And then slowly but surely you see, I see what he's doing. Chelsea will be fine. And as I said, like Goonie, me and you, actually, I don't know. I don't think you did disagree with me this actually. Beginning of the season, I said, if Chelsea fans can be patient for 1 year, if Chelsea fans can say to themselves, okay, this year, forget winning anything, forget all that. This year, implement that philosophy, calm it down in the next couple of windows with transfers, just buy what you need rather than 10, 15 players a window. I think you're going to be onto a good thing with Poch. But it's the expectations that's always been the issue, not the manager for me. It's the expectations of Chelsea because they've won so much for 20 years that they're not that club right now. So I think they're going in the right direction. I do. I think they're going to be a good team.
Still need to get Nkunku in this lineup as well. We still need to get Badiashile back in as one of the centre backs because I'm convinced, like obviously after Thiago Silva, he's the best centre back that we've got at the club. We haven't seen much of him play. And another thing that I'm going to say, right? Enzo was poor yesterday, but there's a reason for that. He was still playing with an injury after what happened in the Spurs game. However, has he been performing to his £105 million price tag? For me, no, he hasn't. He hasn't. This is why, right? I don't discriminate. Any player in my team, doesn't matter if he's a fan's favorite or it doesn't matter if the player's not liked very much. All criticism is equal. I'm expecting better from Enzo going forward, 100%. I'm not just singling out yesterday because, like I explained, injury, he's been playing with a bit of a niggle, but when he comes back after that international break, if he's up to full fitness, his performances definitely have to improve, 100%.
Ask a quick question, Goonie, bro. Where's Nkunku going to play? Is he going to play as a striker or is he going to play in behind? What are you saying?
Personally, I'd play for now while we don't have a natural striker. I've always said Jackson to me is not a natural striker. I think that he would get more goals in his position. I just think so. So I would makeshift him as either a false nine, number 9, whatever you want to call it, or people seem to forget that he's also played out on the wing when he was at Leipzig as well. He's a goal scorer, that guy. He's got both goals and assists in his locker. So for me, he definitely has to come into the team. And
he can play anywhere, man.
He can play anywhere.
You know what I want? You know what I want Chelsea to do? Is there like a neutral point of view, not a City point of view? I'd love Chelsea if they went and got that Osimhen, you know. As a neutral point of view, I think...
Are you crazy? Neutral? What are you talking about, man?
From a football perspective, if Chelsea went and got Osimhen, bro, that would just elevate them for fucking Champions League.
Apparently the rumor is summer. Apparently, what I heard at the beginning of the season is we're gonna try and get a deal done in January for the player to come in summer. So we're just going to have to wait and see if that happens. But what I do know is he's definitely one of our top targets for the as a transfer. So we might see that happen. Hopefully we will.
Absolutely, man. Guys, 1.5k in the building, man. We've not even hit 500 likes. I don't know what you lot are doing. 361 likes. Get them likes up, people, man. If you're watching. Yeah, exactly. Lee's got the flip-flops out. That's when you know he's not happy. So get them likes up, people. It's a good show. We have to go with Tottenham, man. Tottenham is falling down.
Let me get me popcorn back out. Let me get me popcorn back out, lads.
Oh my days, man.
Hang on, let me go and get my popcorn. Hang on, one sec.
You know what's mad, Sava, yeah? I was in the stadium and I was like, you know what? I was literally entering the ground. I was chatting to the boys here. We're like, you know what? Fair play to Tottenham, 1-0. Fair play. And literally, as I was walking to my turnstile, 1-1. As I entered the turnstile, it's 2-1. And then everyone around me was like, yo, Tottenham just lost. And I was like, what? Like, genuinely, I could not believe it, man.
Saeed,
man, bottled it.
Saeed, let me just tell you, Sarabia's goal was disgusting.
Yeah.
What a goal that was. Sorry, Sam, but like I'm an admirer of technique and finish. That there was just, oh my goodness, brilliant.
He's been doing it for ages, man. If you watch him at PSG, watch him at Sevilla, this guy's a good player, man. He's just not, he doesn't get the opportunities. That's unfortunate for him, man. But Sava, talk to us, man. What is going on at Tottenham?
I agree with everything you said, other than the bottled it. I just don't. When you say bottled it, I don't think we're that good. I think we were very lucky.
But it is technically bottling. It is technically bottling, though.
I don't think so. I looked at it. I thought we were lucky that we weren't 3 or 4-0 down, mate. We were awful. Listen, it's the sort of thing I say in here, and your chat will all have a go at me because they're not Spurs fans. It's the sort of thing I say, and all Spurs fans will have a go at me because they say I'm not liked because I'm too negative. Spurs are not as good as everyone keeps making out. I don't know how many times I can come on shows and say it. I don't know how many times when you want to keep trolling me in my show, Saeed, when I see your name pop into my comments and you go, you boys are great, title challenge, Sava, and all my fans go, yeah, Saeed, yeah, we can. Right?
I jinxed it.
Listen, we're just not that team yet. And I think people have got to understand the same thing I just said about Chelsea. Right? Spurs need a year or a little bit to build and grow as a team. The problem is we've had such a good start that I think everyone's expectations went from here to there, but without actually looking past the end of their nose. Spurs have got some good players, right? We've got some very good players, and we need them all fit. If they're not fit, we go back to exactly what Conte had, and it's not surprising what we saw on Saturday. Yeah? If you are going to put a midfield out of 3 holding midfielders and no creativity anywhere, that's going to happen. If you put a centre-back pairing out of Eric Dyer and Ben Davies, this is going to happen. Emerson Royale is rubbish. Pedro Porro can't defend. So when you put all that together before the game, I said, I will take the point. I said, I will take a point. I'll bite your hand off now. Even then, you're negative. You're a killjoy. No, I'm not. Look at the team. And Wolves attacked and attacked and attacked. And it was like, oh my God, this is a carbon copy of Chelsea in terms of teams attacking but can't finish their dinner. And in the end, they did finish their dinner and we got what we deserved. We're a good team that are in transition that people need to relax on. All this title talk, all this stuff is said it's mad. Let's see what happens now. Let's see what happens. We've got Villa, followed by Man City away, followed by West Ham, then Newcastle, right? And the thing that makes you laugh is I've got all these idiot Spurs fans, right? Not all of the Spurs fans are idiots. I've got these idiot Spurs fans. I can see a couple in your chat right now. And, oh, Sava loves this. Sava wanted this. No, Sava predicted it is very different to Sava wants it. Because you know what? Sava is not an idiot. Sava's not someone that goes, oh, we're winning a league title after 10 games of football. This is a really, really new team under a new manager that needs time. But the Spurs fans, most of them can't see that and started getting just a little bit too carried away. We could be in a position, Saeed, in 2 games where we've lost to Villa and lost to City, and that's 4 on the bounce. And what happens is all the fans that were telling me we're in a title race, what they do is, because they know how dumb their prediction was, they double down. Lee, you must get this all the time, right? They double down on this. And instead of them being very wrong and going, you know what, we were a little bit overzealous, what they do is they'll turn that attention to me. This is what you wanted. You're negative. You didn't believe. No, I didn't. I didn't believe. Why didn't I believe? Because I've just watched Spurs be awful against Luton. I thought we were poor against Palace and got away with it. I thought we were awful against Chelsea. We were awful against Wolves. But we keep doing it. Like, have a look. Sorry, I shouldn't do this, but have a look. You've got this absolute clown in your chat called George Carterus who messages me every day calling me a killjoy. Look at the things he's saying. Sava predicted it so he could say he's right. Or did Sava predict it because it was obvious? Like, this is it's reality. This is what I mean. But you get clowns like this who are new football fans, new Spurs fans that are like, we've got Ange. You don't understand Ange. Ange's football is brilliant. No, it's not. Not yet. Not until he's had 3 or 4 transfer windows. It's not. Sava's negative. Sava's never right. Sava's been bang on the money about Tottenham Hotspur, hasn't he? Unless anyone on this panel tells me, I'll take it.
You've been constructive in what you're saying. No, 100%. I agree. I think maybe what they're kind of saying is they don't really like that. I told you so. You know, some football fans.
I told you so. It's obvious.
Yeah, but this
obvious.
Sava's spot on because I get this as well. Oh, you want Arteta to fail? No, Arteta is failing.
Yeah. Huge difference.
He's not winning anything, therefore he is failing. But progress. But look at what he's done. He's changed this, and it's the same with Tom. But look at what Ange has done. They're unbeaten in the title race. Well, I've just checked while Sava was talking. You have literally got 3 points more than this time last season after 12 games. Yeah, so was Conte in the title race last season then? Well, I didn't see any Tottenham fans giving it the big one about title race last season. Yeah, and Arsenal had 30 points. Tottenham had 23. Right, this season, Tottenham have got a couple points more, and Man City are only 2 points ahead. So fine margins. Yeah, they've made up 5 points in terms of league from top to where they are in terms of points. Cool, but let's be real with this. We all knew as soon as Maddison got injured, that midfield is not creating. We knew this because we've watched football and watched Tottenham for long enough to know.
You're such a killjoy, Lee. You're a killjoy for saying that.
Well, you know, it is what it is. But we also knew, that Son's going to struggle without Maddison as well, because we had the whole of last season where we had no one creating for him and he struggled. And guess what? Did he even touch the ball in that game? Did he even touch? I didn't even know he was on the pitch second half. Yeah, then you knew that as soon as them defenders were out, that, oh my God, you've got Davis and Dyer. Yeah, well, we see that last season and the season before and the season before that and the one before that. Yeah, so there was nothing apart from it's 75% possession, 960 billion passes a game, and everyone's slapping the concourse, giving it. We've got our Tottenham back, going to the cheese room, getting the longest beer bar in the world, rocking.
Lee, can I say, do you know the difference is, right, is what people don't understand. This is what I absolutely love about it. I'm one of those fans before the season that said, I really like Postecoglou, but this is going to take a few years. I've been very consistent with this. I said, everybody, relax. This is going to take a while. You can't do it. You're not going to see in one window everything changes. Relax. He's got some good players in. Cool. We need to do that again in January. Then you do it again in the summer. I've likened it to this, League. I think Spurs are doing that, right? That. Spurs fans think we're doing that. And there's a huge difference. I'm very consistent with this. I said this about Chelsea. Everyone, Chelsea, Spurs, Man United, you can't just go from rock bottom to winning league titles. You have got to build, you've got to grow, you've got to implement. I think Ange is a good manager.
But I think they need to back him. I think he's got a good philosophy. I think he's got a good way of playing. Yes. I think it comes down to leaving now in January. Does he get his money out and back him and help him out? Or does he say, you know what? I'll do what I did to every manager and I'll only back him for so long and then I'll kind of like be like, put him to the lambs to the slaughter all of a sudden. You know what I mean? So for me, he's a good manager, man. I just think for me, you get me. He's in the situation is a situation, and he's got a lot of injuries. But the players that he's got out there, they're not good enough, man. Let's be honest, Dyer and them, man, they're not good enough.
When we say a lot of injuries, though, right? Let's be brutally honest.
Key men.
Two to key men.
Yeah, well, that's his spine, though, isn't it? Right? Really, Van der Ven and Maddison.
But two. This is the thing. This is the squad. Listen, I think it's all about. As a football fan, look, you get certain types of football fans. You get the ones that just scream that everything's great. And I love that. What I love about them is they call you negative. I've supported Spurs for nearly 40 years, right? I know this club. I've seen how react. I've seen us top. I've seen us in title challenges after 10 games, if you want to call them that, which I don't. Right? 10 games didn't win you anything. Yeah? 10 games doesn't. I see. You watch how LB doesn't get stressed after Man City draw or lose because he's seen it. He knows what his team's going to go on and do. Complete opposite Spurs. All I said to everyone when we were winning, it's good. It's good. But I don't see beating all the poorer teams, as an indication of being in a title challenge. And I said, wait till we play Chelsea, Wolves, Newcastle, Villa, Brighton, Man City. We're going to know where we are. We've now got to that point. So far, we're 2 for 2 in defeats. And still it's, you're negative and a killjoy. I'm not sure what I'm meant to do here. Am I meant to just say, Saeed, am I meant to just sit here as a Spurs fan and go, come on to every chat and go, we're winning the league? Because that for me isn't positivity. That's toxic positivity. That's when fans get called out for being idiots. Like my mate George in the chat, who thinks it's positive to just say we're going to win the league. That's
Sava, let me have a quick say on this one. Me and Lee actually spoke a little bit about this on his show, on his stream on Friday. And I think people find it very difficult to accept that they were wrong. You know what I mean? So you were obviously spitting facts. You know, we all knew, everyone was spitting. It was clear that you were spitting facts because you have like a starting 11. You know what I mean? That's it. The people who got gassed and maybe were calling you negative, Now they've got two options, Sarah. They can either go, you know what, you were right all along. I bought into the fanfare. I lived the dream. You were right. We need to deal with what we're doing. Or they can sort of hold back and say, no, we were in a tie. We were, but you were being negative. I think that's the situation. And the other thing that I would say is, I said this on Terry's show last week, yeah, and I'll stand by this. And some Spurs fans try to cook me. I think Spurs are now in a damage limitation phase of their season. Any hopes of a Premier League are gone. Even for the most optimistic Spurs fans, surely that is gone. You are now in a damage limitation phase, which can see potentially Spurs fall out of the top 4 race here, because you've got some real tough fixtures coming up. Real tough. Villa are playing really good. You've got them next game. If you're backing anyone, you're probably going to back Villa. Newcastle are going to have Isak, I think, by the time they play you as well. Spurs are now in and this loving, by the way, for Ange Postecoglou. The media, one thing I would say, Sava, is the media have put a lot of this into the Spurs fans, because the way the UK media, I mean, we know the UK loves an Aussie, right? Kylie Minogue, Jason Donovan, they love him, right? The way that the UK has adopted Ange Postecoglou and pushed him onto the limelight. Ange this, Ange that. He's won all 3 Premier League Manager of the Month. No manager in history apparently has ever done that before. I mean, it's embarrassing, man. You know, it really, really is. And I think that's probably another reason why that some of the Tottenham fans have bought into it, because the UK media have been pushing it down their faces week in, week out.
But do you know the thing is, LP? No one ever listens to, like I said, I think Spurs are on the right path. I'm not talking about the last 2 games. I think what the club are trying to do behind the scenes, like I'm not expecting all you guys to probably know this, because why would you care? Spurs have completely ripped up everything in the background. We've got new academy directors, and our academies are doing well. We've got new scouts. We've got a new director of football. The manager's coming. Everything they're doing behind the scenes looks very good and positive. Shoots of what we've seen this season, LB, look positive. My whole point was this: can we let it happen before we praise it to the point where every other fan base can rip us for our delusion? Can we get to the end of this season and go, you know what? Yeah, we've made true strides here. Yeah. Can we get to the end of the season and say, yeah, do you know what? Daniel Levy is backing this manager every window. But what we've done is we've doubled down on, now when we lose games, we're not allowed to talk about the manager's tactics. We're not allowed to question the manager's decisions on substitutions, LB. We're not allowed to question like all the Son cult, like Sonny as a cult within our fan base that don't really support Spurs. They just support Son. Say Son had a bad game. It's, oh my God, he didn't. You can't be a Spurs fan. You hate Son. It's like we're turning into
exactly
a cult.
What we have excuse me. This is exactly what we have at Arsenal. You cannot say anything in any way, shape, or form that goes against Arsenal players or the manager. Yeah, and the reason that is what comes back to what Lewis said. The way the media have peddled your manager is exactly the same as how the media have peddled our manager. To the point where now anybody who has a slight bit of criticism for that manager is now getting pelters online. Yeah. Sava, F the lot of them, say what you want. After these brain dead football fans ain't got a clue about the football club they claim to love and support.
I do, mate.
Yeah. So just keep saying what you say. At the end of the day, Tottenham ain't going to win the league. We all know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Lee. Have they got a plan B? Do you reckon he's got a plan B, this manager? Do you think he's got like...
I think he's got a plan B, but I think the thing is he should be beating Wolves. Yeah, and I think that's the reason why he stayed so high up the pitch in that game, is because he wanted to beat Wolves. Against Chelsea, that was wild. I can't lie. Yeah, but again, he's come into a new league. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, it's totally different playing 9 men on the halfway line at Celtic against Sterling, or Livingston or St Mirren than it is doing it against Chelsea. And he will learn. He's a good manager. I told every Spurs fan that I've been on shows with, he will be a good manager for Tottenham, but he won't win you nothing. He'll get you back to a level where you think you should be. Yeah. And then what do you do from there? Do you then go and get another manager to kick you on further, or do you just stay at that level? Yeah. And finish between sort of 3rd and 7th. Yeah. Because I think that's about Spurs' level, if I'm honest.
He's a good manager. I don't think I've ever said he's not a good manager. All I'm saying is it's getting cringy now. Like when I hear people, like, first of all, I hate this saying of putting a manager's name and then putting the word ball on the end. I don't get it. These managers did not invent these styles of play, right? It's not Ange ball or Poch ball or Pep ball. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Ange ball is all I hear from game to game. Oh, if you can't see Ange ball, I mean, Did you see, Goonie, any Ange ball versus Chelsea?
No, I didn't.
I mean,
I didn't.
Arsenal, we saw Ange ball, if you want to call it that, for about 35, 45 minutes in the second half. I thought we played well. Did we see a lot of Ange ball when Man United had chance after chance after chance, didn't finish us, and then we went on one? Did we see Ange ball when we had one shot on target against Crystal Palace in 90 minutes? We had 3 shots on target against Wolves in 90 minutes. I didn't see Ange ball. I'm not knocking Ange. What I'm saying is give the man time before you put him on this pedestal. Give him time. It's absolutely madness. And we've got grown men and women, by the way, like 40 plus, crying because their team isn't quite as good as they thought it was. It's utter madness. Do any of you lot think Spurs are in a title challenge?
Nope. Never did.
Yeah, that's
Never
over
did,
now. That's
yeah.
over now.
I don't think
That's
you're
over
going to
now.
win anything anytime soon. Like I've said
I
this for
agree.
years. Tottenham, we know what's going
You
to
know
happen.
what?
When Daniel Levy's
Yeah.
got the audacity to sit in a fan forum with his smug grin on his face, saying, "Well, we've got our Tottenham back," the day after you lost to Fulham in a cup in the first round and got knocked out. The audacity, he's laughing in your faces. The same as when our club go and buy a dog, at the end of May after bottling a league title and then have the audacity to call it win. They're laughing at us all. And fans like this, they feel part of something. I feel part of Tottenham were doing it the other day. Tottenham tweeted out the other day, I think it was Sarr and a couple of others cuddling in the canteen and put with the little heart, family. Last time I checked, mate, none of them are related, and none of you lot are related to them. So you're not a family.
Lee,
It makes you
Tottenham
feel
family.
welcome.
Tottenham
I'm
family.
family.
I think they meant Tottenham family.
Lee, it's football.
It's PR, man. It's PR, man.
Football
It's
is
PR,
ruled
man.
by 80% of football fans are ruled by emotion, and 20% are ruled by objectivity. Do you know what I mean? By
Logic,
being
yeah.
objective and looking at what's right in front of you. This is why you get people that will say, like, well, you're this, you're that. How dare you say that about this team? It comes from emotion. Because when you actually sit down and take emotions out of it and are able to watch a game objectively, they'll be able to see what we're talking about. That's the case.
Yeah,
I see
100%,
people all
man.
the
Big up to
time,
Aya.
I see people all the time saying Lee's beefing a dog. 1 second, my buzzer's going.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just going to read a super chat here from Aya. Says,
Probably win the dog.
critique with only hindsight. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Probably the dog. Critique with only hindsight, but without any context is a poor substitute for critical thinking. Arsenal aren't owed any success by some divine right. Big up to Aya for the super chat. And also, big up to Miro Gorgiev. He says, Haaland scoring with his nuts. Yeah, that's crazy. Apparently, he's not a big player. Rory Jennings, eat that. I can't believe that guy said that, man. Like, this shows you, man. People that get these kind of roles, man. It's top nonsense, mate. Absolute nonsense. But listen, man, we're gonna move over to United. I mean, it's crazy. We're the most formed league in the Premier League right now. But I can't lie to you. You know me, innit? I've been bored. I was bored at Luton Town. Honestly, I was literally watching the roof leaking. I was watching everything apart from the football. Like, is what you're seeing right? Do you think he deserves credit, Ten Hag? Like, what are you lot saying about United? Because I
not
can't lie to you.
sustainable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Go on, Goody.
It's not sustainable. Listen, teams that are on the decline, they have this period where like they seem to be getting away with games and getting these last minute wins and all that. These are not sustainable things. What Manchester United need to do is, after the international break or at some point, you need to look at a new manager from the principle of the fact that he's clearly lost the dressing room. He has definitely lost the dressing room. Now, who you bring in, I don't know. But the common rule is, even if it's Pep Guardiola, Arrigo Sacchi, it doesn't matter who it is. Once that dressing room is gone, it's too little, too late. You guys got to move on from Ten Hag.
Well, listen,
Mate, absolutely shocking. Listen, let's have it right here as well. They could have gone 1-0 up. That Morris header was a great save. Yeah, and when I was seeing it like half time 0-0, I was like, I beg they score. I beg they score against United, man. Like, and obviously it didn't work out like that. But can I just say again, I didn't watch the whole game. But every time I watch this Garnacho kid, another one that's been hyped up into oblivion. Yeah, after scoring a grand total of 6 goals.
He's not ready, man. He's not ready, man. He's not ready.
He just runs in straight lines. He runs in straight lines. He's way too greedy. I mean, like the goal, Højlund's second goal in Copenhagen the other night, he should have squared it in the first place. Why is he taking a shot and then it bouncing off the keeper? Yeah, and it's like, yeah, maybe you can coach that in the future. I don't know, but like, mate, I just look at your team and I just think you lot are rubbish. Like, I look at your defense, it's trash. How are you playing like over most of the season? I know you've got a few injuries, but how are you playing Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans? Mate, that centre-back pairing started back in 2018 at Leicester or 2019 at Leicester. Yeah, now you've got a load of Dutch players in the team, yeah, or ex-Ajax players that he's worked with. Yeah, like you've basically morphed into a mid-table team, just like that with this manager, because you ain't very good. And I know if you look at the league table says that you're 7 points off the top. Yeah, cool, great. Right? But you've also got 7 points off of 14th.
Yeah, no. And also the goal difference. We've only literally won 1-0 against one goal difference against Sheffield United, one goal difference against Luton, one goal difference against Fulham. Like, we are scraping by. And this is why I said, for me, results are short term. Your performances are what keeps you sustainable. Like, if you start playing well, you'll start getting results and hence further forward. Like, with United, we're just getting results in the short term. And it's all good and well getting the results in the short term. But when you get the better opposition, like we got in December, you'll find out what the real Man United are. That's just the way I kind of think of it. And that's why I think for me, what I see right now, I don't like it. I don't like the football. I don't like how we're playing.
As well, bro?
I don't think it's individual moments.
You know what as well, bro? I'd say this, is he's caused a few problems in your squad, hasn't he, as well? I mean, Varane, do you know what I mean? I mean, talking tactics on this, let's just be real. He's had a falling out with Varane. He's fallen out with Varane. Let's all be real. Let's not try and like say, oh, nah, just something. Nah, he's fallen out with Varane. He didn't pick him against City in a derby. Spoke on tactics. Said Johnny Evans is basically could do what Varane can't. I'm not Varane's biggest fan, but that's just a joke. You know, he's fallen out with Sancho. You know what as well I don't like about him? Contradicts himself. You see these statements that when Ronaldo was United, and because again, not a massive fan of Ronaldo, you know what I mean? But he was like, oh, well, Ronaldo has to work for it to get in the Manchester United team. He's not guaranteed a spot. I'm going to admit, this is one of the best players that this planet's ever seen. But with Rashford, he says in a statement after the game, oh, Rashford's going through a tough time, but he'll keep playing and we'll play him through it. Well, hang on a minute. So you're telling me, with Ronaldo, the guy who scored, nearly 1,000 goals or whatever, he has to work hard and do all this stuff to get in the team, but Rashford's got a free pass. What are you chatting? He's fallen out with Ronaldo, fallen out with Sancho, he's fallen out with Varane. Do you know what I mean? His signings have been horrendous. You play dead football. You don't look like you're going to win anything anytime soon. You know what I mean? Like, he's on such thin ice. You know what I mean? He's on such thin ice, bro. Honestly, maybe I don't know. Maybe they're going to wait for the ownership. I seen you doing a stream last night about the ownership. Maybe the ownership, want a couple of months with him, see what they can do, see if they can have some words with him. But I just think the guy's a little bit. I think he's a bit of a fraud, to be honest.
Listen,
can I just mention about with Man U here? I think he's getting.
Have you watched the game? Did you watch the games, by the way? Have you watched the recent United
I've
games?
watched it. Yeah. I watched it against Fulham, and listen, you're getting the win. You got you've got over the line, which people can say is good. You're getting points on the board. Sure, you're winning some games. But I agree with Goonie. For me, it's a matter of time. I can't remember the exact wording Goonie used, but it's not sustainable. I think you said, it's not sustainable.
That's what sustainable,
scraping those type of wins like 1-0 Luton, 1-0 Fulham. And it's not just that. It's not like you should have won 4 or 5-0. It was purely scraping 1-0 wins when you weren't good. I think that's good, but not for a Man United. That reminds me of what I would expect from a West Ham. West Ham fans are getting in trouble, or an Everton, right? That's what you look at them and go, they got away with that. I don't think this is sustainable long term. The style of football is getting no better. I don't know. I don't know how all these years later you've ended up back with a Johnny Evans, Harry Maguire.
Sorry to cut you off. Can I just read this comment out as well? I don't know whether this guy's taking the mick or not, right? But he said, Arteta finished 8th twice. Can we not just be patient? What has Arteta done in the league?
Come on,
and why does everyone that now gets a new manager in go, but Arteta, look what... No, hold up here. Arteta, to break this down in simple terms for all the cheap seats at the back that don't get it in their skull, right? Inherited a team that was Emery's and Wenger's. 6 months later, that team won an FA Cup, by which time Unai Emery had already put us in the quarter-final, by the way. Yeah, and we got lucky against Sheffield United, had 2 goals disallowed for VAR offsides. Yeah, And you don't cry about VAR. Well, weren't crying that day, were you? Well, anyway, he wins the FA Cup, gets rid of every single one of them players pretty much, bar 3 of them, I think, spends 700 million quid and loses by less. 8th, 5th, 2nd. You've just lost by less. Tell me what he's done, mate. The back, give patience for what? You're Man United Football Club. Patience. There's millions of fans on this planet that don't understand that, firstly, they're paid employees and they're replaceable. And secondly, the aim of the game. Yeah, the aim of the game is to win, not make your weekend feel better. Yeah, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Get some water, man. Get some water, Lee, man. Get some water, man.
Oh, dear. Wow.
Arteta talk and then he goes all mad, man. It's crazy, man. Aye, big up to Arminia says, did Haaland really score with his nuts? He really. Yo, listen, you lot, man, talking about nuts today, man. Relax with you. Like, what's going on today, man? LB, man, sort your City fan base out, loving nuts and all that, man. It's crazy, man. But anyway,
can I just say, that person talking about Haaland, I thought Haaland was exceptional yesterday with his hold-up play, his link-up. All the people that say he don't do anything if he's not scoring, he was involved in a lot that went into him, holding up, laying off, spinning, going. I thought he gave the perfect centre-forward display yesterday. I thought he was very good. And for a guy who's not having a great season, isn't that 13 or 14 league goals in 12 games? It's
yeah.
He's doing
Go
all right,
back to your comment. Go back to your comment, Lee. Sorry to cut you off, Savo. What were you going to say there about Arteta before you got stopped?
I was just saying, the aim of the game. Listen, people can waffle and chat crap all they like. Yeah, and listen, it is just opinions at the end of the day. But opinions are irrelevant. The predefined metrics for success in sport are trophies and medals. Yeah, and if you ain't won one at the end of the season, you therefore, by the metrics that are already set in stone, we don't need Lewis's opinion, yours, mine, Goonies, or Slavers. By that metric, you've lost. So there is no progress. And then at the start of the season, the following season, you'll start again and have another go. Yeah, that league position is irrelevant. And again, it comes back to what LB said earlier. The media pushing top 4 and all of this rubbish, gets all of these people giddy that if you finish in the top 4, you get Champions League. Well, guess what? You weren't good enough to win the league, so you're definitely not good enough to win the Champions League, my friend. Yeah, but they've sold you the dream.
How long's Arteta been at Arsenal for now?
4 years next month.
How many Prems and Champions Leagues has he got?
How many what?
Prems and Champions Leagues has he got?
None.
Is that acceptable?
Who's that?
It is acceptable to 95% of our fan base, mate, because they're actual serial losers. Yeah, and they're just more interested in the progress, and the vibes on match day. We're a social club, not a football club. It's more that COVID was one of the best things to happen to our football clubs. Yeah, not maybe so much Man City. Maybe not so much Man City and Chelsea at the moment, but for our 3 clubs, Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United, they can fleece you, absolutely fleece you now on emotional attachment to your club. Yeah. They've put the prices up. Everything's gone up. The tickets are up. The beer's gone up. The cheese is up. Like the burgers have gone up. Yeah. And now everyone's going there going, well, don't matter about the result, mate. Yeah, we might not be able to go again for another 2 years. So we just enjoy it while we're here. And they are absolutely milking you lot every single week. Yeah. But people get attached to it. And then they buy dogs. And then they buy and then they peddle out family and stuff like that. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, but Lee, this is, if you remember, what we spoke on your stream on Friday, right? So here's the problem with projects is at some point, if you don't win stuff, all the people who are like Arteta in, right? And if you want to be Arteta in, fine. But if you don't win the league this year, you don't win the Champions League this year, okay? And you don't win it next year either. At what point do you as an Arteta in or as an Arsenal fan say, this isn't working? And the reason that is really difficult for people to do is because by saying this isn't working, you've got to accept that the last 4 or 5 years has been a complete waste of time. Isn't that true? Isn't that true? Because basically you've give this project, you've give these phases to Arteta, and if it doesn't work, you have to sit there and say, I thought it was going to work. It's not working. We have to change the manager. And by saying that, you're effectively saying the last 5 years has effectively been a waste because you've now got to replace the manager. And that's why it's super difficult for these Arsenal fans to, I believe, to change position. And the ones that do, fair enough, because that takes a lot of balls. But I think it's really difficult for them to do because they have to.
And people in this chat saying, but your expectations are too high, mate. We're the 3rd biggest club in England. 3rd biggest club in England. Why? Why do we class ourselves as the 3rd biggest in England? Oh, yes, it comes back to trophies won, doesn't it? Of course, that predefined metric that I spoke about. For how you're a big club and successful club is holding a trophy. And then another guy in your chat, before I shut up, said, how do you expect...
They're all rattling everyone tonight. They're all rattling
No, I'm on it
tonight.
today. How do you expect
Yeah.
Arteta to build a team better than City's with 500 million? We'll go and ask Jurgen Klopp. He did it with about 200, mate. Yeah, how about that?
And not only
What about the
that,
super chat? What about the super chat here, Lee?
Go on, go on.
Lee Gunner. So, which manager is that can guarantee us EPL and UEFA, so we don't have to that we don't know about besides Pep? Well, you watch someone
Well,
like
Simeone or Ancelotti would guarantee an upturn. That's for sure. Yeah, and I'll tell you something right now. Yeah, all of this besides Pep, that we don't know besides Pep, all of this hype about Pep. How old are you, mate? Real talk. Yeah, I grew up in the 80s and 90s, mate. Yeah, 80s and 90s. Yeah, there was none of this about Fergie. Yeah, when Fergie was nicking title after title after title after title, treble, title, doubles, treble. Yeah, nobody was sitting there back then saying, well, can't compete with Fergie. Best manager in the world, mate. Best team in the world. You know, best manager, best players. We're all doomed until Fergie leaves. No, Arsene Wenger came and found a way. Yeah, Jose Mourinho came and found a way. Yeah, Man City managers came and found a way.
Found a way. Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
This is delusional, man. But again, this comes back to the PR peddled out by my football club and Sky Sports and other media outlets out there.
Maybe everyone.
That Pep's
United
the
as
most
well,
amazing
PR.
thing that can happen to the world. And yes, he is a great manager. Cool. But you can find a way. Because I'll tell you what, Xavi found a way, and I don't rate that geezer. He found a way to beat Ancelotti last season.
Nah, I think he's in trouble this season, you know, Barcelona. I really think he's in trouble, man.
I told you
think
at the start of the season, Saeed. I told you he's getting sacked.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Girona, man. If they weren't linked to Man City, that would be my team this season. But because they're linked to Man City, I'm just like, yeah, fuck Girona, man. Absolutely fuck them, man. But listen, man.
Sorry to ruffle on one more thing. I just want to say, because these people are so thick, it is unbelievable. You're the same guy that wanted Jose Mourinho and Conte. Come back to me, my friend, when Lego Man has won more than them. And by the way, they've both won the Premier League. In fact, Jose's won 2, isn't he?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Before we wrap up, give me your take on Trossardinho, man, because he don't get a lot of credit for me in the Premier League as well, you know, like genuinely, man, like, you know, I don't know why he's not getting opportunities, man. Is it just that he doesn't rate him in the long term? Like, bro, he's better than Nketiah, man. Like, Nketiah, short term, yeah, he'll get you a few goals against Sheffield United, but this guy is quality, man. He can play midfield, on the wing, on the left, striker. He's so, like, you know, he's so talented, man. Trossard, man.
Mate, these people never learn. They never, ever, ever learn. Yeah, they sit there hyping up Eddie Nketiah, and then we've got our best player in Trossard, sitting on the bench after the games. And then when he does get a game and he starts, if he's not playing too great, they'll sub him at half time. But Eddie can stink it out. 29 can stink it out. Jorginho can stink it out. But this guy don't get a game. And the reason our fans don't particularly rate him is because he don't hold puppies like Saka. Right? He hasn't got the PR of that player. He hasn't got the PR of Odegaard. He hasn't got the PR of Martinelli, or the Gabbies, right? Or Saliba. So he's always going to be way down the pecking order in terms of fan adulation towards him. He's our best player technically, like most technically gifted player in our team. And like you said, you can play him anywhere. You can play him at number 8. You can play him at number 10, left, right, centre. Yeah, he can cross a ball. We see that at the weekend. Martinelli and Saka have been shanking free kicks and corners straight into the first man. Yeah, this guy actually put in corners right underneath the crossbar, middle of goal, like non-stop, continuously. Yeah, but he'll be dropped for the next game. Yeah, he'll be dropped. Yeah, Eddie will be back up front. Like, it's what it is, isn't it? Yeah, when we signed him, I was buzzing we signed him. I thought he was quality, mate. He was superb at the weekend.
Yeah, 100%.
I thought we played well at the weekend. The only downside for me was 29. Again, who knew? 18 games, 1 goal, and that was a gifted penalty, a pity penalty. But not allowed to say that, mate. We won the game. Just be happy. We won. Just be happy. Just be happy. Well, if you're happy, how about you shut up and not worry about me? Yeah, because I'm cool. Yeah, as long as you lot are happy, be happy. Yeah, don't worry about what I'm doing. I'm sick and tired of people chatting crap, man. Yeah, half of these people don't believe what they're saying anyway. Yeah, half of these fan channels and fan cams and other content creators, they're only doing it for what's fashionable. That's the same with all of our fan bases. They only go with what's fashionable, mate. Yeah. And it's very hard to find somebody that is authentic with it. Yeah. And then when you find an authentic fan, they're the ones that are getting the crap. Why are you never happy? Why are you never happy? 31 years, no League Cup. 30 years, no win in Europe. 20 years, no Premier League. 4 years, no FA Cup. What am I supposed to be knee sliding across the marble?
No, 100%, man, 100%. Best way to wrap up the show, man. One more super chat here. Negativity is also an emotion. Lee Gunner and Gal are the two sides of the same coin. One is overly positive, while the other one is negative. I think Lee's just a realist, man. I think a lot of people use
negative, toxic, and then when they can't do
yeah,
you
man,
on
it's just
they can't do you on how many games
yeah.
you've been through. They can't do you on how long you supported the club and how much you know about the history of the club. Tell me something I don't know about my club. How about that?
Another thing is Guns, is that these guys that are saying that most of them are no. Listen, you can't help your age, but this is relevant to the conversation. Half of them don't know what world-class players look like, bruv. We came from the flipping 90s. We know what world-class players look like. We've had squads built with world-class players. And when you don't say a certain player's at a certain standard, that's when they start getting offended, my bro. This is the thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, how many
I've seen Bergkamp at my football club, and I'm supposed to rate Odegaard. Turn it in.
This is what I'm trying.
That's how I feel about Ginola and Kulu.
This is what I'm trying to say.
Like, oh my god, man, he's so bad.
Even outside of our clubs, we've seen players like Kaka, Pirlo, Seydorf, R9, flipping, what's his name, Batistuta, all these guys. These guys were not born to see this. And then they were expecting us to say, oh yeah, this guy is elite. Well, nah, we've seen it, bro.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know the thing? I mean, really quickly, just on Lee being called negative. I always find it funny, and I always message Lee when in my chat, Lee, how many times do I get called Lee Gunner? Like, what makes me laugh is though I've never watched football before, and all of a sudden, since I've been on YouTube, I've decided, actually, yeah, I'm just going to be Lee Gunner. Lee, myself, other people, you get called negative because
you want to
simply people don't like the truth. Yeah, people really don't like the truth. Lee could do the same. I could come on it. Goonie could do it this season. I could come on here right now and go to you. Do you know what? I actually do think Spurs will win the league. You know what? I think our manager's the best manager in the league. I love his style of play. We are ready to win the league right now. Some people will go, I love that. Subscribe. We love listening to that guy. But then I have to finish the show and I have to look deep down inside of myself and go, am I just doing this for clicks and likes? Or am I trying to be honest? Am I trying to be honest?
But then we get told that when we're doing it and being honest as we are, you're doing it for clicks and likes, mate. I'd get more likes if I was all over 29, all over Odegaard, Paul's, all of that.
Sure.
Yeah, them bigging up the club every day. I'd have 800,000 subscribers, not 89. Like not 89. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you're doing it on purpose. But I said to you before, yeah, when there's got to all wake up to reality, yeah, I'm Arteta in. And I'm going to use their words back on them. Yeah, back your manager.
You wanted a trophy because you wanted a title. Yeah.
Do you know, I went on AFTV, right? I went on AFTV. I don't know if any of you saw it. The day before the Tottenham Arsenal North London derby, and I'm sitting in a cafe with Turkish, all the boys. I'm sitting with all the Arsenal boys from AFTV, sitting in a cafe, and they're all giving it to me. Rah, 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 rah. It's going to be 5-1. It's going to be 4-0. It's going to be this. Going to be that. I was just telling them. I said, I fancy 2-2. I don't think you're as good as you think. I don't think we're as good as we think. And one of them turned around. I won't say which one. One of them turned around to me and said, do you know what? For a Spurs fan, you're really calm and level-headed. I said, yeah, but don't tell the Spurs fans that. They think I'm negative. Anyway, the next day in the morning when Turkish releases that video, I've got Arsenal fans going, this guy's a crackhead. He thinks they can draw 2-2. I've got Spurs fans going to me, oh, you're so negative. You don't think we can beat Arsenal. It's like, and then what was the score of the game?
This is why I just say what I want.
It was 2-2, and it was like,
say what I want, Sam. I just laugh.
Relax.
Every day.
Man. Don't hold back, man. Don't hold back. Big up to Bevel says, but they beat City in the Charity Shield. Big up LB. And one final super chat. Big up to AO. He says, being realistic is knowing that success isn't right. Save is realistic. Lee's just negative. I've watched Arsenal since 2001. Listen, we have to agree to disagree. Everyone has their own opinion. Sorry?
That doesn't tell me anything about my club that I don't already know. Then,
there you go.
I asked you to tell me something about my club. You can't bully me, bro. You can't bully me on my club.
There you go.
You can't bully me on games. So the easiest way out is go, you're toxic, you're negative, and you're mentally deranged. That's all they ever come out with is, mate, if I had £1 for every person that said that, I'd have a yacht in Port of Banús moored up next to the Saudi Crown Prince. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying?
100%, man, 100%. But listen, people, 1.3K still in the build. It's been a mega show, man. Honestly, love this show. You know what I mean? It's a good show on a Monday, whether you're in work, whether you're at home, in the evening, wherever you are in the world, man. Midday live every Monday, talking about the Premier League. Lee Gunn, it's been a pleasure. What you got coming up? Big up to you lot. Nearly 90K as well, man. That's amazing, man. Nearly at 90K.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Thank you very much to everyone who is subs. But yeah, I'm gonna have a video out on Lee Reacts later. That's gone through 21K as well. So big up to everyone on there. And that's nothing to do with Arsenal Football Club. So I'm more chilled and relaxed on that one.
Is it all negative content? Is it just negative comments all day long?
No, it's actually really positive, mate. I don't know why 21,000 people have subscribed to it. But I'll have a video out on there later. I'm going to record a video on Lewis's channel in a bit, straight after this, I think. And then podcast with Kenny and Jez at 5. And then Henry Wright's got to do the one chip challenge in an Arsenal shirt tonight on his channel.
Oh, I got to watch that. What time's that?
6 p.m. UK time.
Aye, we will be there. We will be there, man. We will be there. We will be there, man. LB, I know you just Lee just said that you got a video coming out later on, man. But big up to you, man. Nearly at 10K as well. So make sure you subscribe to his channel, people.
Yeah, big love, man. Yeah, 9,500 subs there. So pushing 10K. More LB, second channel released as well. So just started that one last week. So check out more LB. And yeah, I'll have a video coming out later on with Lee. So yeah, big up for the show, man. Been a good one.
Yeah, definitely, man. Big up to you. Big up to Sava. Big up to you as always, my friend.
Yeah, cheers, man. Not a lot this week. Going to the Football Content Awards for a laugh on Thursday night. That'll be fun. See which creators we can meet there. But listen, we've got a new show starting tomorrow, if I can quickly pitch that, called Rivals React on our channel, where it's we've got like 20 really good YouTubers, not all at once, by the way, 20 really good YouTubers all packed and ready to go each week. Fans from different channels, different clubs on the show. Six people in a panel. 6 p.m. is on a Tuesday. Rivals React. So if anyone did want to subscribe, it's not just Spurs content. So please do. That would really help.
Yeah, definitely, man. Make sure you do that, people. And yeah, big up to Goonie as well, man. Love for coming on as always, man.
Yeah, come on, man. It's always good to be on the panel. I'm going to give my thoughts on yesterday's game. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that. I took my little one boxing, my 8-year-old who's proper committed to that. So obviously kids come first. But today, definitely, I'm going to give my thoughts on the Chelsea game yesterday in detail. So Man Knows Football is where you can find me. Gareth Southgate.
There you go. There you go, man. Make sure you check that out, people, as well. And yeah, man, make sure you check out all the content. I'll be back live at 5 p.m. for the Straight Jacket podcast, talking the latest Man United news. So make sure you check that out, people. And yeah, this has been Midday Live. Like the video on your way out, people. Love.